Hi, I'm David.
And I'm Martina.
Welcome to Shelf Help Gaming.
It's been a while, but today we're going to go through our year in review for the past couple of years.
Years in review.
Exactly. From 2023 all the way through 2025.
Starting in the year 2023, the reason why we kind of stopped posting for a while, in February 2023, right, on Valentine's Day, my younger brother died. He had some rare genetic defect. It was kind of like cerebral palsy. He was 15 years old, but he never learned to walk or talk. He was wheelchair bound all of his life. We kind of knew it was going to happen, and it was good that he wasn't suffering anymore.
He was suffering quite a bit towards the end of his life, so...
Yeah, so after that, we kind of fell out of our groove.
You threw off my groove!
Shortly after that, in June of 2023, I lost my job. I was working remotely at a job in California. And that was really, really hard, having my brother die, and then I lost my job, and it was a very, very stressful time.
Quite sad.
In August, David was able to secure a new job just in time for baby number 5 to be born. Crazy time.
Yeah, so 2023 was a very, very stressful year.
Life's not fair, is it?
But we still had fun and made time for games. In fact, in October and November of 2023, I was able to play test my first board game.
Wow.
Which would be the first of many to come. But that was Thunder Road Vendetta, the Carnival of Chaos expansion from Restoration Games. So that was a lot of fun. We got all the files and we printed them out, and we went to one of our friends' house and we play tested it several times and made lots of suggestions on what to do. And the game's been out now, and they actually took a lot of our suggestions and fixed a lot of the problems we had with it. So that was really fun to play test.
You're welcome.
What can I say except you're welcome?
And moving on to 2024, a lot of things were happening in the background. We got a new top-down camera, which I can show you right here. Boop, see? Boop. Fancy, fancy top-down camera.
Wow.
And we did film a few playthroughs with the top-down camera there.
I'm not impressed.
And then, in spring of 2024, we had a really fun event that we got to go to.
SaltCon, baby!
We had never been to a board gaming convention before. Never been to any sort of convention, Comic-Con, Board Game Con, whatever. And we always wanted to. So it was February 29th through March 6th. But we only went that first Thursday to kind of ease ourselves into it.
Hi friends, we're on our way to our very first board game convention, SaltCon, up in Layton, Utah at the Davis Convention Center. So it's our very first board game convention. We're just here for one day, and should be lots of fun. Play lots of games. Yep, there's little baby. See ya.
We got our badges here. I lost my badge, but this is the lanyard. It's proof enough.
We played an epic game with our friends called Last Light. It's a 4X space game that normally a 4X game will take 4 to 12 hours, but Last Light kind of compresses that adventure into 1 to 2 hours.
Yeah.
It was so fun to play it with our friends and have time set aside just for playing board games, and everyone that was there wanted to be there, and it was so great. Choice people there at SaltCon.
It was really fun. A lot of times we have to twist arms of friends and family in order to get them to play board games with us. But it was really fun being there and just play board games all day.
We tried some new games. A new game we were taught is called Evolution. That was really fun. Lots of opportunities to cascade there, which is always very satisfying. We got to teach David's favorite game to a couple there, Lost Ruins of Arnak, and we had so much fun. We also tried a hot shelf game called Horticulture. It was a flip and write game. We played it with some very nice ladies there.
Yeah, it was lots of fun. In the vendor hall, I also got to meet Ryan Lockett from Red Raven Games. It was kind of an awkward meeting.
It was so awkward.
I didn't know how to, I still don't know how to advertise myself and Shelf Help Gaming. So it was kind of like, hey, I know you. I've played like one of your games, and I do a YouTube channel, but we're not really posting anything.
Yeah.
But hi.
I was like, yeah, I like you, but not that much. And I have a YouTube channel, but it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I forget a lot of times that my husband is actually kind of shy
Yeah.
around new people.
I need to get better at doing that. But so we talked with him for a bit, and we bought Megaland from him. We also brought a whole bunch of our board games that we were trying to sell, and they had a game swap there. You can just put a bunch of games with the prices you want to sell, and people can just peruse them. So we sold several of our games there, and we bought some new games there too. So that was lots of fun.
All right, we just got done with our first day of board game convention at SaltCon in Layton, Utah. It was lots of fun. We played 4 games that were, most of them were longer games, so that was lots of fun. Sold a couple games that we had put up in the game swap room, and we picked up a bunch of other
About
fun
broke
games.
even.
About
by
broke
selling those
even,
games
yep.
From the games that we
So
bought.
it paid for the new games we bought.
So it really was a swap.
So that was fun.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah, first board gaming convention down. So
Yay!
next year we hope to be able to go for more of the days.
Yeah.
So
Just
that would
did
be
a
awesome.
one-day thing this time.
And it's very windy and cold, so we're gonna hurry back to our car.
So yeah, that was our first board gaming convention experience. That was lots of fun, and we hope to be able to do that again in the future. And unfortunately, we didn't get to do that this year, 2025. But
No, we talked about it, but we didn't do it.
hopefully, we're looking forward to 2026. We'll do another board game convention or something. So.
Yeah, maybe we'll see you there.
Yeah. Then after SaltCon in May of 2024, I got the opportunity to interview Jeff Beck from Grandpa Beck Games. He's the son and one of the co-founders of Grandpa Beck Games. They make several popular games like Skull King and Cover Your Assets. I got to interview him on a panel interview from Simply Nerdy YouTube channel, some friends of ours. And that was a really fun experience, and we got to know Jeff Beck and talking about some of the upcoming games that he was developing. And in July of that year, 2024, I was able to play test 3 of the new games that Jeff Beck was developing.
Wow.
It's always great when you get to play test a board game. It makes you feel really official.
So these games are out now, but it was really fun. I got to play test in their prototype form these 3 games: The Lost Sheep, Goals and Crickets, and Red Against Blue. So that was really fun. And these came out this year, 2025, so I picked those up along with this other set that was released at the same time or shortly thereafter: Popcorn Blossoms, Potluck Party, and Wagon Packin'. All of these games are being sold, I believe, exclusively at a bookstore here locally in Utah called Deseret Book. But it was fun to be able to play test 3 of these and pick them up, and they were signed by Jeff Beck this year when I bought all of them, so it was fun.
The next fun thing we got to do in 2024 was attend Dragonsteel Nexus, which is Brandon Sanderson's convention with a bunch of fantasy book writers and fun vendors and awesome things to do. Unfortunately, while we were there, David had lost his voice.
Just your voice!
But that didn't stop him. He kept talking to people and further damaged his vocal cords. Still recovering, but you know, he's a trooper. So.
Yep. These are badges from Dragonsteel. It's got this awesome dragon on there. I am a Windrunner.
And I'm purple. I haven't read these books, so purple is Will Shaper. I'll find out what that means eventually.
So I had read all of Brandon Sanderson's books in the Cosmere leading up to this Dragonsteel convention, except the Stormlight Archive. So all the year of 2024, I read through the Stormlight Archive in preparation for the 5th and final book in the Stormlight arc to be released at this Dragonsteel convention. So I knew what a Windrunner was.
On the first day of Dragonsteel Nexus, we shared a vendor booth with my brother-in-law from Technically Mexican, as well as our friends from Simply Nerdy.
So that was really fun to be on an indie vendor booth there on the first day. And we talked to a lot of great people there. We had a bunch of stuff to give away board games, comic books, and that sort of thing, if people would subscribe to our 3 YouTube channels. And that day we got 160 new subscribers and hit the first tier of monetization for our channel. We got the congratulatory email from YouTube and all. And the next day we lost all of those subscribers, presumably because YouTube thought they were bots or something. So thanks, YouTube.
Thanks a lot.
But thank you for subscribing if you were there.
Yeah. If you're one of those 260 subscribers that we got from there and you're still subscribed, like and comment down below so YouTube knows that you're not fake.
You are fake news.
So there was a lot of really fun panels, not just about Brandon Sanderson's books, but about books in general, about movies and TV shows and things like that. You went to one that talked about
Costume design.
in the Cosmere.
Yeah, costume design is part of world building. It was really fun.
So that was really fun. My favorite panel was on the last day, and it was the most nerdy discussion I've ever been a part of. But it was basically like, how would you solve these engineering problems within the magic system of the Cosmere?
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, how would you build a rocket ship? Okay, well, you would use these powers from Scadrial and these powers from Roshar, and you can combine them and you can make this propulsion system. It got really nerdy and really technical, and it was amazing. Talked about how to build an atomic bomb in the Cosmere universe and all sorts of crazy random stuff. That was amazing. It was really fun.
I had a great time watching all of those ideas go right over my head.
Yeah. So one thing that Brandon Sanderson did that year at Dragonsteel was introduce the Stormlight Lost Tales, which is basically like a collectible card game but for stories. So they had these little booster packs you can open up and get these cards, and they had artwork on one side and story on the other. And so I was able to collect all of them here and have these beautiful artwork and story. There's 3 stories in total. One about Yasna when she was on the boat that was attacked. One about, and then the other story was about Lopin, and then the last one was a fun story with these little chasm fiends that are cartoony. But anyways, that was lots of fun to collect. There was also some rare cards that had each of the 9 heralds, and we got one of the rare heralds, I think 8 or 9 or something, that everybody was looking for. And so even though I didn't have a lot of booster packs, I was able to trade that one herald and complete all the rest of the stories and stuff like that. Wow. Yeah. But that was a really fun idea. They also had some cards that were random nonsense cards that Hoyd was telling these stories, and he introduced some weird wacky alternative narrative or something like that. So it was lots of fun, interesting idea. It was fun to go through and collect all those.
Yeah, and I will say it was a really good environment. Everyone there was trying to help you find what you wanted and get what they wanted, and not cutthroat at all. Just everyone was super nice. Said, "Oh, what do you need? Oh, I think that guy at that table actually has that card. You should go talk to him." And super friendly crowd over there at Dragonsteel Nexus.
Yep. So we were able to meet some really awesome people over there. I was able to meet and talk to Matt Dinneman, the author of Dungeon Crawler Carl, and got the book signed by him. Glub glub. So that was really fun. Dungeon Crawler Carl is a really fun series. If you haven't read it, there's 7 books out so far, and they just keep getting better. The first 2 are fun, but then at book 3 it really starts getting good.
We also had the opportunity to talk to a wonderful couple that wrote this series together. Blake and Raven Penn wrote the Skystone Chronicles. This is the first book. We got to talk to them, and we also had it signed for us from Blake and Raven Penn.
Yeah.
And they are an adorable couple. I think that's so cute that they wrote a book together.
I also ran into Ren from the Corridor Digital YouTube channel, which is really fun. I love Corridor Digital, and I've watched their content for years and years, and so that was really fun to run into him and pick his brain a little bit. And he was actually one of the panelists on that nerdy panel that talked about all the science and stuff of Brandon Sanderson's universe. So that was lots of fun.
That interaction was a little less awkward.
Yes, that's true. I learned my lesson from meeting Ryan Lockett at SaltCon the time before. So
we had previously purchased the Mistborn deck building game, And we got to play it there with David's brother and some friends. And that was a great time. We got pulverized, of course, because that game is very hard to beat.
I played the cooperative version.
Yes.
But then at the end, we were able to get it signed by John D. Clare and Brandon Sanderson. I don't know if you can see that there in the gold.
Oh man, I feel like wow.
Brandon Sanderson was going around to the different vendor booths the last day, and my brother snuck back in and had this signed for us. So that was really fun. This is a really fun game. They plan on releasing more for the other books in the series. So I look forward to doing that. So that was really fun to be able to play Mistborn at the Dragonsteel convention and get it signed by the designer John D. Clare, who's a designer that we really like. I have several of his other games, and Brandon Sanderson himself. So we treasure this. It sits right up here on the top of our shelves, just out of frame, but it's always there.
Yeah. John D. Clare was pretty cool too. He seemed genuinely interested in us and our channel, and he's a cool guy.
We also got to play test a Stormlight trick-taking game that's also by Brotherwise Games that published the Mistborn deck building game. And it still hasn't been released yet. I haven't heard any news on it, but it was really fun. Interesting how it worked. It was very modular when you picked different deities of the Cosmere that change the rules and change the different suits that you play the trick-taking game with. So I thought it was very clever, did some interesting things. So that was the third time we were able to play test a board game, and that was really fun.
Wow.
That was pretty much everything from 2024, except back in April, we actually unlocked a new achievement on BGG.
New achievement!
Which was the Golden Board Game Collector micro badge. And that's an achievement for owning over 500 board games. The exact count at that time in 2024 was 634 board games, but that's including expansions. So if you exclude those, it's actually only 405.
What was that all?
So that was kind of neat to get that micro badge and realize that we own a lot of board games.
So many.
Gee, you think so?
I wish we could say we played all 500, but we're still working on that.
Shame.
So in 2025, we tried to jump back on the horse and get some videos out to you, but we really only managed to film a couple of shorts and post them. We managed to edit and post some playthroughs that we had filmed in previous years, but haven't really gotten around to filming anything new.
Shame.
We did get some new equipment, including these lapel mics that I can't seem to get to work. They keep spiking the audio, so I need to figure out how to use those properly. We also got this little foot pedal so I can change the scenes and things like that during live playthroughs instead of using this wireless mouse or whatever, but haven't set that up yet either.
And because of our ever-growing board game collection, we decided to install more Kallax shelves on the side opposite of us, which are pretty much overflowing already.
Our board game collection has continued to grow in 2025. In fact, after achieving the golden board game micro badge on Board Game Geek the previous year, we actually got the platinum board game collector micro badge for having over 1,000 games this year. However, a lot of that was me adding all of the expansions and promos and character packs and everything that we have for all of these other games. So it's not really accurate. And in fact, I decided it was too cumbersome to look through my collection with all those. So I ended up removing all of the promos and all of the small character packs and stuff, and only had the main base games and bigger expansions in the collection. So currently our collection stands at 714 games on BGG, or 452 without expansions. Still quite a lot.
Yeah.
Because I'm addicted to it.
We probably need to start culling our collection and really only keeping games that we actually love and play often, and sort of sharing the ones we don't play anymore with the rest of the world.
So also this year I got back into painting my miniatures. I started trying to paint miniatures with acrylic paints years ago, and I figured I'd start with the Star Wars Stormtroopers because it's just black and white, and how can I mess that up, right? That was a big mistake. That was the same thing over and over and over again, and I got so tired of painting miniatures. And even when I started moving on to more advanced ones, I got very discouraged because the paint started cracking and I wasn't doing things right. I wasn't using the right primer, and so I stopped painting for a long time until I got speed paints from Army Painter. Speed paints are amazing, and as helped speed up my painting process.
He's made some pretty disgusting looking stuff.
Yeah.
He's been working on some Cthulhu Death May Die miniatures, and they're pretty gross. And the speed paints really help him make them pretty grotesque.
Here's a look at some of the miniatures that I've painted recently.
Ew.
Most of these are from Cthulhu Death May Die, but then I started painting some from Heroes of Might and Magic 3. And I started with the Necropolis faction. Here's a bunch of dragons and other unicorns and stuff. So that was our little channel update video of what we've been doing for the past 3 years. Hopefully we'll be able to get back on track and give you more content more frequently.
We've got several reviews coming up on the horizon. We also have some board game parodies that we've been working on. So look forward to seeing those on our channel.
Well, thank you for joining us on Shelf Up Gaming.
Don't forget to help your shelf to some games.
Bye. Anyway. Alright. We also got this little foot pedal so I can change scenes.
Sorry, I was yawning and I just spat everywhere. Trying to stop you. And I'm purple. As we did. We taught them how to be slot sluts. I don't know if we can explain what slot slut is, but
whatever. Whatever.
Whatever.
Okay,